Hey guys. So I just woke up not too long ago because I woke up this morning not feeling like P. Diddy. And I stayed up for a little while and I think I went back to bed like 9 or 10 o'clock and I just woke up. What time? Actually, no, it wasn't just waking up. I think I woke up at around 2. So I've been awake for about 2 hours. Has it really been that long already? It feels like it feels like I just woke up. But apparently I've been awake for 2 hours already. But So I have like this, like my dreams are almost like reoccurring type dreams where like every so often I'll have like the same dream or aspects of another dream pop back up. In this case, it's a song. So like we were in this like this giant, and I say we because it was just like, I mean, fucking Shaggy from Scooby Doo was there. So, but it was weird because he had like little, instead of a beard, he had like little tree sprouts or sprouts growing out of his, for his beard instead. I called him Tree Beard. But it was weird. There's like we were in this room and everyone was all like, and then like this like pulse of like rainbowish. Well, not, it wasn't rainbow. It's like afterwards when it hit everyone, everyone started seeing different colors, kind of like a bad trip. But it was like a ring of like energy or something that just throughout the room, and we all started just like partying, and they turned on the radio or whatever it was, and I heard the radio, whatever on the radio talking, and then they switched to the song. I don't know if it was a playlist or whatever, but the song started to play, and I was really happy because I was like, "Oh man, I love this song." It's not a real song, but I've heard it before in my dreams. It's pissing me off that I can't remember what it sounded like. Like I said, I've heard this thing before in my dreams. I can't, but I can't remember. It was only like 15 seconds, and then I woke up. But I remember in my dream, I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I like this song. But then I wake up and I'm sitting there, I'm like, what was that song? Like, if I could remember what it sounded like, that'd be great. But it's like your mind doesn't want you to remember it. It's like, no, that song is just, it's too epic for you to remember. Sorry. But that's how it's with my head, with my dreams. It's like download like DLC. Like, I'll have like a dream and it'll only go so far, or it'll have some kind of conclusion, and then like a year later I'll have the exact same dream except more happens. It's like it's DLC for your dreams, except you don't have to pay for it. um but yeah, stuff like that happens, like reoccurring stories or stuff like that, like music. I just wish I could remember the fucking song. It had a good, I mean, I just know it had a good beat to it. It kind of was like a kind of like an 80s 90s kind of vibe to it. um so I mean, you could say it kind of sounded generic, which is probably why I don't remember it very well. But I mean, really think about the beats back in the 80s and the late 80s, early 90s, a little to the mid 90s. There's some They had some good bops. um Something you could really dance to. But it sounded like something like that. It was very like late 80s 90s esque. So I was like, oh man, I love the song. And then like 15 seconds later, I wake up and I'm like disappointed I can't remember it. Stay hydrated, kids. Ugh. But yeah, that's reoccurring shit. Like I think the was it last week or the week before? I don't remember. Last week or the week before that, I had a dream. I'm like, wait a minute, I've had this exact same dream before. Same words, same. It's like it's basically like you're just watching something over and over. Fucking deja vu, I swear. Hell, what was it? I was on the. Was I riding the bus? I was either riding the bus to work or coming home, and I had that deja vu feeling. I'm like, wait a minute. because there was a certain song on the radio and certain things that I was looking at and people were having certain conversations or something. I'm like, wait a minute, I've done this before. Deja vu? But that's one thing. But when it happens with dreams, it's just that's completely something different. And I wish, like I said, I wish I could remember what it sounded like, but because it was so generic sounding in a sense of almost like everything did back in the 80s and the or late 80s, early 90s, I don't remember. If I could remember the words, that'd be great, but I don't remember the words. I hate it. I hate when you can't remember something. I know people are like, oh well, just write stuff down in like a dream journal. It's like, well, how can I write it down if I don't remember it? I remember it was a song. I don't remember what it said in the song. It was only 15 seconds of it. It's 15 seconds, and I woke up. So I got maybe the first few words of the the first line, and that was it. Um, yeah, it made no sense. Fucking Shaggy was there with fucking tree sprouts, growing out of his face. Called him Treebeard. What else happened? Um, I don't remember. I know I was not flying, but I could jump higher than normal. So I remember it was like in this mall or something. I remember, and there was like a bunch of kid. There was like this. What kind of game was it? Uh, was it racing? I think it was like this weird. It was like a cross type thing where there were like not consoles, but the you get inside and there's like four of them. You know, like a cross, and there were a bunch of teenagers and kids and playing. And I remember jumping down like from a really high place, jumping down to see what everyone was doing. And then I kind of sat myself on like this shelf or something that was there. And there was another person standing there. They were sitting there. They're like, "How'd you do that?" I'm like, "What? You can't fly?" So I'm like, "Well, let me show you." So I it was kind of high up, but I jumped down, and then while he was watching, I jumped all the way back up. It was like 20 fucking feet. I just like, oof. I was like, "What? You can't fly?" Um, I think I remember seeing some of my actual, like, not actual friends, but people I used to know that were my friends back in like high school and stuff. Well, if you're gonna see old friends, why not be them all? So, what else? No, that's all I remember. I think there's some ancient Egyptian shit going on. Um, Also that warehouse or whatever it was, for some reason it had piles of cardboard. I'm like, I'm not doing those. That's like what I think now. Is like anytime I see a large pile of cardboard, I'm like, I'm not doing them. Not doing it. I didn't see any balers, so I there was no way. But like it was the same thing after like that burst of energy hit and everyone started seeing colors. I looked at the bales of or piles of cardboard and they're all like flashing, kind of like when you get the star in Mario, they were just kind of like flashing, colors. I'm like, I'm still not doing them. But it was like a big room, and you could tell it was like either a factory or a warehouse. Um, Place was pretty concrete, you know, but it was a big area. And there was a lot of people there. So then I remember there was like this thing in the middle that had like a painting, or it was like I said, this is the ancient Egyptian shit. It was like I think it was either Anubis or Ra or Cyrus or is one of them. Was it maybe Osiris? I think it was Osiris. But there was just like this big square center, kind of like a, like here's where we were, like up on a platform. It kind of like, you know, went down. So it was kind of like a trenched out area, and there was just like this big mosaic looking type thing of like Osiris. It was pretty cool. I don't know why it was there, but I'd be more concerned if it was Anubis, death. But I think it was Osiris. But my fucking dreams are crazy. Fucking crazy. I just wish I could remember the song. Anyways, I just rambled on 10 minutes about a fucking dream. I'm sure you guys are like, oh, I don't mind. I'd love to hear you talk about your dreams. Well, I would love to talk about them if I could remember them most of the time. But most days I wake up and I don't remember. This one was only because the song, you know. So when there's something in a dream that I remember or I've heard before, I tend to remember more of the dream rather than, just like a random adventure. So, anyways, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.